I'm Poonam Kumar with SLC TV, Salt Lake City's Government Access Channel, and I'm at the iconic Salt Lake City, Maine Public Library. For this week's episode of Capital City News, we'll hear from two council members about the Salt Lake City budget process. And our History Minute is about the city's first library. Let's start off with our legislative update and look back. At its last meeting, the City Council discussed the proposed budgets for the airport and public utilities departments. The Council also asked for a timeline of the administration's plans to close the mid-block crosswalk on 200 South near the road home and discuss safety concerns about the area. And to help pay for the capital improvements project, a citywide sewer rate increase was also discussed. The Salt Lake City Mayor's Office and community partners hosted an evening of connection, understanding, and stories of empowerment from the South Sudanese community. A series of free cultural night events will be held with various refugee communities throughout the year. After months of work, Salt Lake City released a comprehensive plan to tackle climate change and carbon pollution. Details about the plan can be found at slcgreen.com/climatepositive. Known for its rigor and intensity, the Salt Lake City SWAT School hosted multiple candidates from law enforcement agencies in the Salt Lake Valley. Here's a peek into the day in the life of a SWAT trainee. The Salt Lake City Arts Council's Twilight Concert Series celebrates 30 years of live music downtown. This year's lineup includes headliners like Solange, Cat Power, and The Roots. For details and tickets, visit twilightconcerts.com. Flying Objects, a public art sculpture series, has permanently made the bustling streets of downtown home. 18 newly installed sculptures now paint a new, artsy, and vibrant scene in Salt Lake. The Salt Lake City Fire Department hosted its second annual Camp Athena, a program designed to introduce young women to a career in the fire service. The day was filled with hands-on training, obstacle courses, and team-building activities. At times, understanding the city budget can be daunting. Salt Lake City Council Chair Stan Penfold and Councilmember Lisa Adams talks to us about how the budget process works and how you can get involved.
I'm Lisa Adams, and I am the council member from District 7. I also serve as the redevelopment agency chair for that board this year.
And I'm Stan Penfold. I'm the council representative from District 3, and I'm the chair of the council this year. The mayor will present a budget proposal to the council the first Tuesday of May, and then for May and June, the council will look at the budget proposal and recommendations made by the mayor for all of the departments and enterprise funds. And we are required to adopt a balanced budget by June 22nd that we submit to the state of Utah.
We've gotten pretty good at doing it, I think, but it's hard. Last year, a number of things were funded out of one-time funding, so that money is now gone. So it will be interesting to see what the mayor recommends to continue funding in those areas that were funded with one-time funding. So that will be a challenge. We are always also looking to see what we can do that are perhaps things that have been neglected. We certainly hear from constituents regularly who want things done. We've heard a lot about streets. That's why streets is a priority. So it's just an ongoing challenge no matter what, and it's a really intensive 6 weeks that we go through between the time it's presented until the time that we pass it.
So the council goals and priorities for this year are homelessness and affordable housing, infrastructure, meaning roads and streets and curb and gutter, and economic development. So as we look at the mayor's proposal, we'll be looking to see if there's sufficient focus in those areas that the council believes are priorities.
And I think one really important thing is that when the budget is released, everyone has access to it. If there's something that's really important to you, go into that area, look at it, see if there's funding. See if there's something you really care about and there isn't funding, then that's when you contact us and you contact the mayor's office and say, hey, we care about this, why isn't it funded? Or why is this thing getting so much money? And if you're puzzled by it, give us a chance to explain if we think that's a good idea, or say, we agree with you and we're going to take some money away from that. But it is a massive budget. We get it, and it's a budget book about this big, and we spent a lot of time on it. So most people don't want to read the whole budget. I think that's fair to say. But if there is something that's specific that you care about, you can find that information and determine if you think it's being funded appropriately.
There are a couple of opportunities as a resident to participate in this process. We will have formal public hearings about the budget, and we'll have at least 2 of those. And it'll be about everything from the library to the airport to parks. And I think if residents have a particular interest, it's really important for them to share that interest with the council. The only way we know what your concerns are is if you let us know what those concerns are. So participating in that public hearing process is really beneficial. Residents can also contact any council member that represents them either by phone or by email. We want to hear what people have as priorities in the city. This is the primary opportunity that people have during the year who live in the city or participate in the city to give comment on what their priorities are for services in the city. So I think it's really important for people to participate and take an opportunity if they feel strongly about something they'd like to see the city do or something they don't want the city to do. This is the time to share that.
And now it's time for our History Minute.
It was apparent to the first city leaders of Salt Lake that libraries were an important part of civilization. In 1850, the Territory of Utah accepted a federal appropriation for a territorial library and appointed William C. Staines, the builder of the Devereaux House, to be the territorial librarian. He ran that first collection of books as a law library and a general public library, but eventually that collection was divvied up between the University of Deseret and the Utah Library. After a while, libraries faltered, and efforts were made to establish a consistent free public lending library by both the Ladies' Literary Society of Salt Lake City and by the Masonic Order, who were interested in promoting libraries to assist in educating Mormons out of beliefs the Masons found peculiar. In 1898, thanks to lobbying by the Ladies' Literary Society, the territorial legislature passed a tax levy for the support of public libraries. Salt Lake City used access to this money to create the first public library in the city. For $1,400, the city acquired the holdings of the Pioneer Library, which was owned by the Grand Lodge of Utah and was worth about $24,000. The collection was held at the City and County Building, and they went to work looking for a more permanent location. The Ladies' Literary Society came to the rescue again by persuading the eccentric and retiring mining millionaire John Q. Packard to donate both land and capital for the construction of a public library building just to the south of the Alta Club. This new building served as the library from 1905 until the 1960s, when a new library was needed and built on what is today called Library Square.
Thanks for watching another episode of Capital City News, where we do our best to keep you in the know. Please join us next time. For SLC TV, I'm Poonam Kumar, signing off from the Salt Lake City Main Library.